yeah, so that's what just a little bit of more about me. What really drives me, I'm a real family man. I have a beautiful wife of 33 years. I have two wonderful, outstanding adult children. Our family is very musical, and I've actually been involved in the music ministry for years. My son is down in the LA area, working in music down there, and plays around the country with different groups. My daughter has been huge into worship ministry and things like that, and my wife too. But those foundational aspects of my life have given me that really strong, firm foundation with God and my family to launch out into these other things that I've done. And I just encourage people, no matter what those foundational elements are for you, that you need to have that strong base, because when we're on a shaky foundation, we're not going to go very far, because we're always worried about if we're tipping, if we're falling, and what's going on, because we don't have that strength under us. And so that's really, I think, what's helped me over the years. And it's just been great life that I've lived.
Sounds like an amazing life, and I'm with you. Got you by a couple of years. Turned 58 back in July and everything, but I've told folks that I'm gonna go for the personal best. Like I said, I figured if you set the goal, if it doesn't happen, then you're the only one disappointed. So if it's 200, I figure I'm gonna set it a goal. It will make it so what, but I'm setting my goal and everything. And might as well set the standard as high as possible, even though the chances of its reality happening are dim to none. But might as well just go for that goal and see what happens. So that's my goal. I'm going for 200.
Yeah, no, I think, why not set your goals high? Because if you don't reach them, you're going to still get a lot higher than you would have without setting those goals forward. So yeah, I'm with you 100%.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a great way. If your wife and your kids were to describe you and everything, what do you think their description of you would be and everything? So I'd be curious to know what you think the way your kids, your friends, and your spouse would describe Russ if they were to walk in the room and see that we were doing this interview. How would they describe Russ Hedge?
Well, my wife calls me a hopeless optimist, because what's the first thing to come out of my mouth when things are blowing up and everything is crazy? I say, well, the good news is, we're still alive and our house is still here. I'm just that kind of good news guy. And my kids would basically tell you I'm just Mr. Positive guy. In fact, they used to joke, because I have this tendency when I don't know, it started when I was young, but when the room and noise, everything elevates and everybody gets frantic and things like that happen, I get calmer and I stay very positive and even keeled. And so my daughter used to look at me and she'd say, Dad, just get mad, yell or something, because I'm just kind of your even keel, happy guy. And that doesn't mean I don't ever have bad moments. I don't mean that, but that's just my personality. That's my go-to. That's that's my DNA makeup. And so, I'm a pretty much a see what you get kind of guy. When I was in for my ministry credentials years ago, my wife was asked that question, is there something, the team that was interviewing me, they all pretty much knew me. And she goes, so is there anything about Russ that we should know that we don't already know? And my wife told them, she goes, well, no, Russ is pretty much what you see is what you get. And so there you go. That's me.
Sounds like that's you. It sounds like you got some real positive attitudes that folks need to be having more of in life. I think that too often folks get caught up in the negative aspects of their life. And it sounds to me like, I'm sure like anybody else, you probably had some baggage in your life, but it doesn't sound like you've carried the baggage with you, whatever that baggage would be. And I think that too often folks carry the baggage with them, whether that's relationship baggage, whether that's family baggage, whether that's work baggage. But it sounds to me like you decide to leave your baggage at the front steps every time you come home or any time that you're going in your different environment. So how do you manage to do that? Because I do find that too often folks carry the baggage with them. So how do you leave the baggage alone, or where do you store the baggage at?
Well, first of all, let me just reiterate that I am definitely not perfect at the things that I talk about. In fact, a lot of the things that I teach and coach and I help people with are things that I've learned from making mistakes. But I'm really good at compartmentalizing. I am good at compartmentalizing away the bad and holding on to the good. I focus on the good, and that's why I don't carry the baggage around. When things happen to me, they really just slide off my shoulder real quick, and off I go in a positive manner. And I think that I learned that years ago. My mother and father I had wonderful parents, and my mom was super positive. And, I focus on the good. Right now, just to give you an example, my mom has Alzheimer's and she's in a memory care. And that's not a woe is me. I've had a wonderful life with her, and I go and talk to her and sing with her still. And she doesn't always make a lot of sense. And half the time she thinks I'm my dad. But you know what? I focus on the positive. So I don't carry the baggage of all the bad stuff or things that are going on, because it's happening no matter what I do. Why carry it around? Why focus on the negative things if you can still enjoy life and enjoy the positive that we have? And so I think that is one of the biggest things that I always do. And another good example is people will tell me, let's just take social media. They hate they hate social media because there's so much negative stuff up there. And I'm like, well, that's true that there's a lot of negative things up there, but I just choose not to look at those and not focus on those. Why do I have to look at the bad and the negative things? But good reason why I don't watch the news most of the time, because I just keep the negative things away and I focus on the good stuff. If I see somebody that's saying a bunch of negative things, I look for something positive. They say like, hey, my son just did great in football, and I'll click like, oh, that's awesome, way to go, that's really good. I ignore all the negative things they said, and I just focus on the positive thing they said. And I think that is how I keep that positive mindset and leave the baggage at the door.
Sounds good. We talked earlier about the authors like John Maxwell and others, but who are some of the world figures, both historical as well as current, that you might look to as people that you find to be motivating in your life? I know some people would say like Nelson Mandela, or some people would even use Jesus as an example, but who are some of the folks that you look at as being either historical or modern day figures that you find to be motivational in your life, or that you can turn to and watch them and you're inspired by them?
Well, I tend to focus more in my actual life with things. I was asked a question the other day, who's my hero? And if I could look up to anybody, who would I have dinner with tonight?
Right.
And the answer was my dad. My dad passed away about 3 years ago. He was the most influential, he and my mom, in my life early on. Obviously, Jesus is huge in my life. I just got to say I'm a Christ follower, and it's important to me. And I'm not afraid to say that. And I love people because of that. I have that whole mentality. People like Billy Graham was a great man to look up to, people like that. But really in my life, I had a journalism professor at Oregon State who really profoundly impacted my life. I have some people right now that are mentors in my life that are local friends of mine. That really have impacted me in all that I'm doing. And I really tend to focus on that. There's a lot of great people in this world, and there's the John Maxwells. And, recently I really got tied into Bob Goff, who is a wonderful leader. His main organization was called Love Does. And it was just a silly concept that we could actually love people no matter what they believe and no matter where they're at. And what that led him to do was his kids wrote letters to world leaders, and they actually flew around the world and met princes and world leaders because they were just delivering a positive message of love, not any political message. And so those kind of things really speak to me. I mean, I'm like, I'm not really so concerned with you. I'm concerned with you as a person. I'm not so concerned with all the things that you believe in and thinking that's so negative, and I totally disagree with that or agree with that, whatever. I look at people as people, I've met some wonderful people that I just really disagree with on some of their stances, but they're really wonderful people, and I just focused on that. And so I think that's really important in my life. And again, that's where, in my book, I mentioned I mentioned my dad and mom, who are huge. And, they were always there for me. And that is why I think that I am strong today. because I had parents that were always there. They were at every football game. I love sports. I love music. I love drama. I loved all that stuff. And they were at every single thing that I did. And they were always there for me. And that just gave me that supportive foundation that really helped me throughout my life.
Sounds like a really good parents. I know that I'm proud of both of my parents as well, and they follow what I do and everything. So definitely that parental love is very important. And I know that one of the folks that we've had here on this show or some of our other shows is a gentleman here in North Carolina that does a thing called the Bump Project, where he basically goes around and he might run into you and just basically give you money as a act of kindness. So he's been doing this for a number of years. So it's good hearing like what you're talking about with those letter writers, with the gentleman and his Bump Project, and then there's another lady that does a thing called Make Kind Loud, where she's trying to get more people to make kindness loud. So hearing these kind of like positive attitudes that are happening, and a lot of times at the people's expense with their own money, because the gentleman that does the Bump Project is paying for it out of his own pocket, and he's not working like a big millionaire's job or anything of that nature. He's working a very basic job, but he just had somebody that was kind to him and gave him something, so he feels like giving back. So a lot of times I find that folks that receive something, they then want to find a way to give back as well. And it sounds like you fall in that same category of wanting to find a way to give back to honor those that have given to you in one form or fashion or another.
Yeah, and really, when we are generous and giving, it benefits us, I think, more than the people that we give to. The old adage is more blessed to give than receive is really, really true. I mean, I really try to seek out opportunities to give to people and help people and to support things that I'm doing with my business and all that I'm doing with my life. If I can help a neighbor or I can help a nonprofit that I'm working with or whatever, I want to be out there and do that. And, I try to think of those things last week. And this isn't to pat myself on the back, but I just had this, I always call them God moments, but I had this thought, I'm going out to do these book pre-release promotional events. And if I was with the company I was with before, my biggest expense for advertising dollars was giving to nonprofits, was giving to organizations, and then we would give our time along with it. And I always thought that if people saw your true heart and what you were really all about, that was the best advertising you could ever do, because it's doing the right thing, helping people to begin with. But then at the same time, people are saying, that's the kind of person I want to be associated with, the kind of company I want to be associated with. So last week, I thought, well, if I was with the company I was with before, I would have been giving and doing part of this in this promotion. So I thought, I'm just going to give away the profits of my book this week to the Alzheimer's Association, which of course is near and dear to my heart because of my mom. And so I did that. I just, took, and I found that other people thought, wow, that's great. So more people came and more people bought the book because I was giving those profits away and everybody wanted to be part of that. And what that does is you're giving and helping. People want to be part of that. People want to be part of something bigger than themselves. And so that's what I just love to do things like that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And folks do like to do things to see that you are caring about them and everything. One of the things that I had asked one of my earlier guests about was if they could carry three books with them and 2 pieces of music and they got stuck on a desert island, what would those be? So I'm going to ask you that same question. So if you got a chance to carry 3 books with you and 2 pieces of music, what would it be if you had that opportunity?
Well, probably any John Maxwell book would be number one. He's got too many to mention. Simon Sinek, All About the Why, is just an incredible book. I could think of a ton of books, but the other one that just sticks out to me right now is either Love Does or Everybody Always by Bob Goff, that I've read recently. Really love those. That would be the 3 books. I love music, so I would just like something upbeat and fun that I could dance to. And but I'm a child of the 80s, and so I think the 80s was like the best decade ever because I graduated from high school. I graduated from college. I met my beautiful wife. I got married to my beautiful wife. We got pregnant with our daughter, our first child. And the music was great. The hair was great. I had hair back then. And so it was just all good. But I don't know. I think music wise, I'm trying to think, man, I just love music. So I can think of a million songs that I just love. The song that sticks out to me right now that I love so much because it's tied to my mom is You Are My Sunshine.
Yeah.
Sounds like a real simple song, but my mom and I still sing that together. She harmonizes with me. And she, it's a happy song. You Are My Sunshine, right?
Yeah.
And another song, I'm having an official, you should come to this, Mark. I'll send you an invite to this, but I have my official online book release next Tuesday, the 24th at 7 a.m.
Okay.
And so we're going to have just a 15-minute time of celebration, and just hit me out of the blue. One of my favorite songs was Kool and the Gang, Celebrate.
Oh, yeah.
Celebrate, come on, come on. I love that song.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I never get the words right. So you can forgive me for that, but I just love the music. So those would be two of the songs that would just really speak to me.
Yeah, they would definitely speak to a lot of folks and everything. So definitely glad that you were able to share a lot of that wisdom and everything. If folks are interested in getting the book, how would they get the book? How would they get in touch with you? And one of the things that I do with everybody on their different segments is I ask them to leave with like a positive thought that they would like to share with our global network and everything. So if you got any positive thoughts that you would like to share, this is where we can do that kind of like wrap up segment and everything. But I would love to hear your thoughts about your final thoughts of something that you would like to share with the world in terms of a sense of positivity, and how folks can reach out to you in order to get this great book, Befuddled. And now I'm feeling like I'm going to have to play Befuddled in Words with Friends later on today, but that means I've got to get 3Ds, and I don't know whether they're going to give that to me.
Yeah, well, I tell you, befuddle is a great word. It really is. I was joking that I was going to follow up my second book called Discombobulated, but the first of all, the contact information, I'll give you that first. So simple. So I'm a simple mind, a simple guy. So russhedge.com. russhedge.com. There are links to all my social media, and I'm on all of them, and I'm on all of them a lot. But instead of giving all these long addresses, just go to russhedge.com and click on the little icons, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever you want, and you go right to all of my connections there. Also, you can get my book. There's a direct buy now link, buy the book now link on my website. You can also go to Amazon. Now, the 24th is the official online release date. So you can't actually, they won't send it till after the 24th if you buy it on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all those kind of things. But on my website, there's a backdoor link to my publisher that you can order the book now, and they will actually get it together and send it sooner because it's already available there. So those are the easiest ways. As far as positive thoughts, man, care about people. I love that quote I said before, John Maxwell. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. When you care about people, people will care about you. When you are uplifting and positive light to others, you will find that people will be more of an uplifting positive light to you when you need it. And we all have times we need it. And so those would be really my biggest pearls of wisdom. You get back what you put out, so you get out there, smile at people. I love before I talk at every event, I give everybody a smile test. Get everybody smiling. Mark, you got a great smile. So we got to be positive, enjoy life. Come on. Life on this earth is too short to waste time wishing our life away and just doing things that we don't love. Love what you do what you love, smile at other people, and enjoy your life.
No, great words of wisdom and great words of encouragement. And definitely you also have a wonderful smile and a positive attitude. And the attitude even comes through the screen and everything. And I've also seen, as you shared on this particular evening and everything, that you also have a sense of humor. And I am a big fan of a sense of humor and having that sense of humor and even willing to laugh at yourself. I find too often we're not willing to do that. But it definitely sounds like you have a very positive attitude about humor as well. So if you could, and I know I said that the last question was the last question, but I lied. So how would you encourage people to use the sense of humor, and what kind of words would you say about the importance of a sense of humor? Because I definitely think that you have a great sense of humor. Even when you first came in the room and we had switched rooms, because of the fact of recordings and everything. And you were like, hey, I think I've seen you before. So that would show me that you've already got a great sense of humor and everything. So share a little bit about how that is important to you.
Well, I think a sense of humor is gigantic. And if we can't laugh at ourselves, I mean, come on. I mean, I could tell you that there's a lot to laugh at here. So, and looks aren't everything. But I love to just laugh and have fun. And I learned long ago when I speak, like if I'm emceeing an event, one of the first times I emceed an event, they tried to give me jokes and tell me things to say. And it was so awkward to me. And I ended up deleting most of them because I thought, when I'm the funniest is when I'm being my authentic self and I'm just goofing around. I'm really a goofy guy. My wife would definitely tell you that. I'm a goofy, silly, funny guy. And sometimes she wishes I'd calm down a little bit, but I just really love that. And when you're enjoying life and you're just having fun with it, you naturally do funny things and you naturally laugh and enjoy that. Laughter is, when they say laughter is the best medicine, oh my goodness. It absolutely, when I'm really kind of feeling out of it, I'm the funniest late at night, not me, but I'm laughing the most late at night because I get tired. I'm a 4 a.m. guy. I get up early. And so I've lived half a day before most people get up. But then late at night, I'm like, okay, I'm snoring and I'm out of it. And late at night to me is 8:30. Usually when it's late and I'm tired, all I have to do is watch something that's a little bit funny. And I can't breathe. I'm laughing so hard. I'm crying. And and it's so funny. And a lot of times I'll just say to my family, I'll say, I know it's really not that funny, but right now it's hilarious to me. And that feeling, I love that feeling. I love that feeling because it's just so cleansing and it's just so purifying and uplifting, So laughter is definitely the best medicine and I highly recommend it.
No, I agree. Laughter is the best medicine. As you were talking, I was thinking of two stories of laughter and how important it can be when you're emceeing. Because unfortunately, because of COVID, we went virtual this year. But for a number of years, I've been the host of the River Festival, which is a festival at a state park, but it also celebrates nature and conservation and a number of other things like that. But it's also held around the 4th of July weekend, which is near my birthday. So I always jokingly tell people that they think they're there to celebrate the Eno and what the Eno is all about in the state park. But no, they're really there to celebrate my birthday party. It's just one big birthday party for me. So that's like the running joke that I always share. The MC, the sound man, and everybody know it's coming at some point, but they all get a big kick out of that. And I also agree with you about being late night and things of that nature. I remember going on a cruise several years back with a dear friend of mine, and it was late in the evening, and we started getting those kind of like delirious comments. So I was like saying that there was like these Martians and space people and everything else. So there was like a whole routine that we were doing around these space people based on this conversation that I was having, because it was like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I was a little delirious in what I was saying. So the comments were definitely going off the wall. And I remember they still to this day will tease me about, because I think it involved aliens, bears. Tim would get a kick out of this. There might have even been some deer involved in everything, but there was all kinds of things that came out of this late night conversation. But they still make good jokes about it, and we still laugh about it to this day because it was late. We were on the sea, and things were just a little bit out of kilter.
Yeah, well, and that's, what a great way to be. What a great way to enjoy life. You brought up, Tim and Brian. Talk about crazy fun guys. I was on their positivity show this last Saturday, and Positive Vibes. I forget the name of it all of a sudden. Anyway, great show, and we were having so much fun, and it's just silly, and it really energizes you. When you have fun with life, you get energized with all that you're doing, and so, oh yeah, I mean, people just need to just enjoy things. And in the middle of COVID and all these crazy things that are going on, people need to realize we can still have fun. We can still make adjustments. It doesn't mean that the crazy things going on aren't going to be going on, but they're going to happen whether we enjoy life or not. So I say, let's enjoy life.
I agree with you. Let's enjoy life. Enjoying life is very important. Like I said, I'm so glad you were able to join me here. I know we gave that sense of positivity last time, but I'm going to get to give one more sense of positivity, and then we'll wrap everything up. So what's another message of positivity that you want to share, maybe to the global community, as we share the other one to everybody, but we'll make this more of a global positivity message for all of the globe. So that's how we'll wrap everything up on this particular segment.
Well, a great way to be positive is to really listen and care about other people and learn as you go. I always say I'm a lifelong learner. And so a lot of my global friends, boy, through this whole pandemic, I have made incredible friends all around the world. And this book, official online book launch that I talked about, I'm going to have people from Ireland, from Australia, from all around the world, right? And so it's just a lot of fun. But the main thing I think that is we learn and listen to people, we get more value and we feel more positive about what's going on instead of always being this, well, either one up, I can be better, or looking for the negative things and stuff. Always look for the positive and the nuggets you can get from other people. Listen, pay attention, learn, and bring those positive things to light, and then take them and launch them. These ideas I've had, I give credit. My friend Wendy in Dublin, Ireland, it's her idea what I'm doing next Tuesday. Monday on my podcast, I'm doing a crazy fun Christmas special recording. That's my friend Melissa that gave me that idea. And so just other people that just came up with these great ideas. I learn, and then I do fun things with them. And so why not enjoy life, be positive, listen to what value other people have, because they can add value to you, and you can in turn add value to them.
No doubt about it. And we're going to bring up our ambassador. She's actually one of my producer's daughters. And actually, he only has one daughter, but she gives advice to what we should be doing in this age of COVID and all of that. And then we'll get the airplane on out of here. But I think that this is a great kind of message that she gives in terms of washing our hands and everything else. So let's check out and see what Ankit's daughter has got to say about that.
Coronavirus से कैसे बचेंगे? Okay? हैंड होकर और ऐसे अपने खांसी जब आएगी तो ऐसे करेंगे अच्छू अच्छू और कोरोना वायरस को धन्यवाद हमारा म्यूजिक सुनने का.
And now we'll get this airplane on out of here. But she's amazing. I love that Raggedy Ann doll of hers in there. Hold on.
My name's Brandon. I'm a world traveler, foodie, and YouTuber. Together, you and I will find the best travel hacks, tips, and best places to explore. Join me as we find new adventures together, live only on IBM.tv.
Yep, that wraps up another edition of Mullins and Music and Memories. Definitely some great concepts and a great conversation had with both Dr. Veronica Hardy and with Russ Hedge. So we learned some great and amazing things. And of course, we had the radio show with Mark Lee earlier today, where we had some other engaging conversation as well. Of course, it's on course a Monday night, and yours truly is not done with the wonderful world of podcasting and all of that. You know, I've got to get ready to do my audio podcast right now. So I'm getting ready to do that at 7 o'clock. That being Straight Talk with Dean and Mark, and that'll be from 7 to 9. I believe we've got an exciting conversation, including one with a young lady who has got a ranch dealing with veterans and all of that. And I believe Leonardo will be joining me, who is the owner of Israelis, to talk about some of his things in the entrepreneurship world as well. So if you want to shift on over to the wonderful world of audio podcasting, you can catch out some of the things that we're doing in that platform. Of course, that is blogtalkradio.com/squared 807. And of course, you can hear some more engaging conversation if you haven't had enough of me already today. So definitely that's where you can find the audio version of what we do on Monday night. So like I said, that is blogtalkradio.com/squared 807. And we'll engage in some more great conversation at that particular platform. But right now, I'm here to get on out of here. Don't forget that on Wednesday, we've got the online dinner party. And you know, I'm going to come up with some more great mystery guests. I have no idea what part of the world they will be from, but I will find at least one international mystery guest. And of course, you know, I'll find somebody from the United States or North America as well. And they might come from the world of politics. They might come from the world of entertainment. They might come from the world of sports, or who knows where. And then in terms of our regular guests, well, I'll be trying to find some people in the usual fields that I look for, which is the fields of entrepreneurship, the fields of activism, the fields of education, and a number of other places in that regard. So already have sent out a couple of feelers and have heard a couple of folks that they might be joining me on that particular show. So do join us on a Wednesday between the hours of 4 and 7 for the online dinner party. So that'll be coming your way on the day before Thanksgiving. That's right. The day before Thanksgiving will be the online dinner party. But right now, I'm going to get on out of here, get ready to do that audio version of podcasting, and I will catch y'all here on IBM TV on a Wednesday at the online dinner party, even though you know I might pop in on a Tuesday as well, because you know I do sometimes pop in on Tuesdays when they have different things going on. And of course, Thursday, I usually am there for the Gamers Den, but this Thursday is Thanksgiving. So I think that I won't be there this Thursday, but I should be here the Thursday after that. And of course, like I said, might pop in on Tuesday or Friday. And of course, you know, my friend Zach has got his shows that come your way on Saturday and Sunday. So some great programming that happens here on a regular basis. Of course, we've also got Alexandria May on Sunday, and we've got the Talking Upstream guys on Sunday as well. And of course, there is Spiritual Saturday as well, and they oftentimes have some amazing guests on that time also. So definitely some great things that are going on in the community, and we are definitely looking forward to having some more engaging conversation with you here on IBM TV. But for right now, I'm going to get on out of here, and I will catch y'all later.